Hey there, it's Dara Levan with Every Soul Has a Story, and this is my first time doing anything live on Facebook, so I'm a little nervous, and of course in the interest of being authentic, want to tell you how I'm doing. So it's been kind of crazy. We are on the 4th week of our hunkering down at home. And there's actually been quite a lot of blessings here. I've had such incredible time with my 2 teenagers, my husband. I've had a lot of time to write, to go inward, to meditate. And I'm so immensely grateful for my health and so many others. We're just getting started with this, so let me know that you're here. You can give me a wave, make a comment, whatever you'd like, whatever you're comfortable doing to connect. And the reason I'm starting Wednesday Wisdom started a couple weeks ago. Let me take you back, actually. So I'm a writer, and I also launched my podcast a few months ago. The whole movement is called Every Soul Has a Story, because every soul does, right? And I've been writing a blog for about 3 years. I've been sending weekly messages and inspiration. And I've had a lot of friends and family tell me they want to connect with me in person. So it occurred to me, this is one of the best ways we can do that, especially at this time. So you're sitting in my office with me. Here's my podcast mic. This is where I write. This is my writing desk. And I'd love if you'd reach out. Hey, Robin, thanks for joining us. So I'll wait a few more minutes till more people get on here, but it's my first time doing this. Yeah, I even washed my hair for y'all today. Put a little lip gloss on. That's kind of big. Gosh, I even shaved my legs. Haven't done that in weeks. Maybe that's TMI, but my intention is to keep it real here because that's what Every Soul Has a Story is about. That's who I am about, or who I am rather. And I think we need connection more now than ever. I think we need real conversations with real people. I feel that we're all experiencing around the world this whole virus that's so much bigger than us. It's really truly my sense that we will emerge just as the caterpillar emerges from the butterfly. I feel we're going to emerge very different human beings. And you know what? That's not such a bad thing. Hey, Tracy, thanks for joining us. That means so much to me. Hi. So the reason I started, and I'm going to repeat myself a few times, Robin and Tracy, as people come on, I've never done this before, so I'm a little nervous. Those of you that know me know I'm not so shy, but I don't know how to do this live stuff. So here I am going live. And I've had so many people tell me since I launched Every Soul Has a Story, which began truly as a reconnection. Hey, Daniel, thanks for joining. This really began as a reconnection with self, meaning I was a writer my whole life. I was an arts reporter, grew up in the arts, went to Indiana University with Robin. I was a journalism major, and my whole life was dedicated to really communicating and connecting people around the world. That was my intention through words. And hi, Rachel. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, I'm so grateful that you're all here. So I began Every Soul Has a Story in 2017 after a lot of encouragement from actually one of the people watching, Robin, my college roommate. And I'm so grateful for her pushing me to get back to writing. I had a several year detour as a speech therapist, which I loved, but my soul really wasn't fulfilled in a creative, deep and inspiring way. So after much encouragement from Robin and my husband, my kids, and several others, I finally launched my website, Every Soul Has a Story, in 2017. And it's been quite a journey of self-discovery. I'm not good at being vulnerable. I'm real good at supporting others. I'd much rather write other stories, which I do, and Every Soul Has a Story. But what I realize more and more is I have to kind of practice what I preach, right? So I'm opening up more, even sharing with you today, just doing this spontaneously. I'm just speaking from my heart. It's the only way I know how to be. And let me take you through my day. So we're all preparing for holidays, right? Part of Wednesday Wisdom, which I hope you'll join me every Wednesday on Facebook at 11 and Instagram at 3, is I'd like us to have a sacred space, an inviting space, an accepting space where we can talk, connect, and in an informal way. Some days I'll be outside going for a walk. This morning, I was cooking for our holiday, so I threw together 2 briskets, chicken soup that hopefully is not setting my house on fire. Set some tables because I really wanted to take the time to connect with you. And I feel we need connection more now than ever. Obviously, we're all experiencing this surreal corona, I don't even know what to call it, but I know we're in the middle of history. I know we are part of history. For those of us that have children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren, this will be in their books. They will be studying this. So I don't want to miss an ounce of it. I feel what's happening on the planet is here to teach us. You'll see in upcoming blogs. You can subscribe actually if you're interested at daralevan.com. I email once a week. Different messages, photographs, blogs, and more. And I've also launched my Every Soul Has a Story podcast. I've had several interviews this week. There are 2 that are already published. If you'd like to check it out, you can subscribe at Apple, iTunes. If you don't have a Mac, no problem. It's also on Spotify and SoundCloud and my website. So stay tuned for that. Next week, I will be releasing another episode, a real impactful story about a single father who has a son who had a liver transplant. And he's amazing. He's really shifted his pain to purpose. So quite inspiring and really relevant to what we're all going through right now. But today I want to talk about how we will be celebrating our holidays differently. And with that comes some grieving. It's sad we can't be together. I don't know whether you celebrate Easter or Passover. In our home, I often host the holidays, not this one in particular, but many. We gather at the table, we talk, we reminisce, we follow certain traditions, and big one in my house is always eating, of course, but that's every holiday. That's every day. My family really likes to eat. That's a sidebar. I know for many of you, for Easter, going to church, we're not gathering in our typical spaces because of what's going on, but I've done a lot of soul searching this week. And I've realized, yes, it's different. And you know what? It sucks and it hurts. And I think it's important we sit with that discomfort and we sit with those feelings. But I also feel this, it feels like a new chapter. And just because it's different doesn't mean it's bad. In fact, I guess I'm feeling this really strong desire to make it even more special than ever. So our family, I love you too, Rachel. We'll be doing a Zoom call together. And though it's not the same, aren't we blessed? Isn't it amazing that we can still connect because of technology? So I'm choosing to focus on all the blessings in here. My kids are home, which is amazing. My son's going to college in the fall. I'm getting all of this extra time with him. My dog isn't doing well, and I'm getting extra time with him. And there really are a lot of blessings if we choose to look for them. And it's not easy, trust me. I woke up this morning very heavy-hearted. We have a family member who's not doing well. I'm sure you all do. We all have our own story. And that's why I want to connect with you here in this space, from my heart to yours. And I would welcome any comments if you'd like to email me at dara@everysoulhasastory.com or go to my website. All of my contact information is there, daralevan.com. Hey, Jen, thank you so much for joining. Jen Claussens is here. And this is my first time doing this, Jen. So like I said to everybody earlier, I was a bit nervous. Yes, we're all fighting for time, Daniel. That's true. Daniel just made a comment. None of us know when it's our last day, right? And I'm kind of joking with Passover that the 11th plague is the coronavirus, right? Haha. And for Easter, about the rebirth and renewal. There's a lot of meaning in these two holidays as we begin this Holy Week. And I think there's a lot of wisdom there to sit with, to process, to find different ways to honor our individual holidays, to honor ourselves, our feelings, and to still celebrate, because we can. We can celebrate differently, and that's okay. Perhaps there's a lesson in this too, right? Not everything can be as we always want it to be. And that might be a little hard for some type A people. Some of you are here listening. I'm not going to call you out. You can call yourselves out. But for instance, my earring keeps sticking out of my ear. It's making me crazy. So I can fix it. I can ignore it. Or I could take it off and do this with one earring. Any votes? Who really cares, actually? Hey, Jody, thanks so much for joining. Oh, that's a great idea. Jody Weiss just said she's adding a lemon to her Seder plate to make lemonade out of lemons during this time. Oh gosh, that is just beautiful. Thank you for sharing. That's an awesome idea. And funny you say that, Jody, because I was just telling the kids this morning, I was throwing in brisket and chicken soup and speed cooking so I can get ready for this. And I told them precisely that guys, we are going to make the most amazing, freaking awesome Seder we've ever had. And what we're doing is we have put a folding table in front of our TV. We already set the table, and we will Zoom with our family. And at first, my son was like, why are we even setting a table? It's so stupid. Well, you know what? It feels to me more important now than ever. It feels so important to honor every single moment. And honestly, this is how I live anyway. But there's something that I have a sense of, it almost feels like a mix of urgency with inspiration. Can any of you relate? I'm finding I'm not bored at home. I'm inspired. I'm grateful. I'm thankful that we have all these amazing people putting their lives at risk to keep us safe. And not just the doctors and nurses, but also the Amazon employees that are coming out and dropping things off. Yesterday, when our mail person delivered the mail, I gave her a little chocolate lollipop and just said thank you. So just definitely making lemonade. And I don't mean to be all rainbows and unicorns, although yes, I am wearing a rainbow shirt. And for those of you who know me, the rainbow holds quite a lot of significance in my life, and I'll explain that another time, not for today. But that's why I started Every Soul Has a Story, because we all have a story. We all experience joy. We all experience loss. We all experience suffering. We all experience love. None of us are immune to disease. None of us are immune to laughter. None of us are immune to loss. It's all what we choose to focus on. And I choose to focus on the positive. What I've learned, though, in the interest of being completely direct and authentic, which is my intention, and it's not all rainbows and unicorns. And you know what? Sometimes life sucks. And we have to lean into the suck. We have to feel it. We have to talk about it. And then we have to learn from it. So that's why I started Wednesday Wisdom. So hopefully I'm sharing some wisdom with you. I'd like you to share it with me as well. This is not one directional. I want this to really be a conversation. And I'm so grateful for those of you that have joined. I will also be on Instagram today at 3:00. If you have any friends or family, you can tell them about it. I'd really appreciate it. Jody, oh gosh, I'm not an inspiration. I appreciate your kind words, Jody. I'm just trying to make a difference in the planet in some tiny way, in any way. And I really am so blessed for all the good in my life. And I hope you consider that today. And as you sit at your family tables, whether it's Passover or Easter, or if you celebrate neither, to just take some time this week, maybe journal, maybe call an old friend you haven't spoken to in years. I actually had a neat experience last week. There's somebody who was really important to me in high school. We were very good friends. We did a lot of leadership work together. I have not spoken to him in I think almost 30 years, and reached out on Facebook. He's really involved in DC and politics, and we spoke for an hour. It was so amazing and such a gift. And this forced pause, this time that we need to hunker down, some people, I'm hearing things like, I'm a prisoner, I feel like an inmate. I can understand that. I honor those feelings. I hear you. But I also encourage you to look at the small moments, because those are really important. It's often the small moments that we miss. It's often the small moments that when we look back on our lives, whether it's in our 20s or 30s, or God willing, 80s or 90s, we don't know how long we have here. All we have is now. So I encourage you this holiday season to focus on what matters the most: tradition, celebration, liberation. Jump in. What matters to you, Jody? What matters to you, Daniel, Robin, Rachel, Jen? What are your thoughts? Tell me. What have you been thinking about? Daniel said, we are all fighting for time. That's true. I understand. Tell me more about that. I don't know if you all are still there. If you're there, can you wave? Because like I said, this is new for me. I'm winging it, just talking to you from my heart to yours. And I'll be also, oh, hey, Robin. I'm with you. So Robin said, I don't know if you could see this, guys, if you can. Hey, Jen. Okay, so Robin said, as long as my family and friends are healthy, nothing else matters. Couldn't agree more. Amen. Jen, living in the moment, absolutely. And aren't we forced? I mean, so many of us are planners, right? Jen, I know you are. Robin, actually, many of you are such planners. We like to be in control. We like to know what's coming. And I think it's really, it's interesting, right? Because we don't know what's coming. We don't know what the future brings. And listen, we could talk about that all the time, right? But the time we're in, where we're at today, is so, I really believe it is truly forcing us to halt, stop in our tracks, be grateful for what we have, Rachel, exactly. Live in the moment, Jen, exactly what you said. Love that, Jody. Keeping the rituals alive, even if it's different. And tradition, right? Tradition. Oh, that's interesting, Rachel. So Rachel said she's grateful for what she doesn't have. I assume you mean Mr. Corona. And you have to live in the present, right, Robin? It's so true. It's easier said than done. I don't know. I feel in my heart, one of the many blessings in living in the present, or what we're all experiencing at this time, is we have to live in the moment. We kind of don't have a choice. And so as I often write about, since I launched Every Soul Has a Story in 2017, 3 years ago, all we have is now. All we have is now. And so what will you do with your now? How will you spend your time? How will you choose to live? These are questions I ask frequently. We talk about in my home. I journal about, I meditate on. So consider that as you spend this week with your family and as you celebrate any holidays that you celebrate. And I'm wishing you only the best of health and love, and truly hope that even though this holiday is different, different isn't bad. I'll leave you with this question. Who's to say that this might not be your favorite holiday you've ever had? Because it's challenging us to think deeper, live more presently, and be creative in how we connect. So speaking of connection, I need to go back to my family. I hope you will all join me at 3:00 on Instagram Live. My tag there is at Every Soul Has a Story. And again, please reach out to me on my website, daralevan.com, and check out the podcast. I hope that also provides some comfort, connection, and touches your heart. From my heart to yours, I'm hugging you from here. Big hugs to you all.